Hey there, lads and lasses. This here, of course, is Thunderhand 64 coming at you live from the west coast of the United States here on a Friday morning. It is a little past 11 a.m. That can only mean that it is time for some Buffooncraft SMP Season 6. Happy Friday, everyone. So I did experience a wee bit of disappointment this morning. It's the Friday stream. Usually I will have a pint of Guinness on the Friday stream, and I donned my Guinness cap and went to the refrigerator to go fetch my pint of Guinness, and I'm out of Guinness. I have come here to drink Guinness into Minecraft. And I'm all out of Guinness. Hey, welcome on in, Pandemonium of Parrots. Which is quite a mouthful for somebody like me to say. Parrot? Parrots? How shall I contract that? Just parrots. Okay, parrots it is. I usually... okay, parrots. Welcome in. Happy to see you. And there's Tiny One. Hey there, Tiny One. So, yeah, instead of Guinness, so I have my coffee with my Irish cream in it. Usually, I default to Bailey's for my Irish cream. But during hard times, and because even though I'm half Irish descent, I'm also half Scottish descent. And when the price of Bailey's gets just too insane, which happens very frequently, the Scottish part of me just says no. I think not. And so I'll default to an Irish cream called Carolyn's, which is very economical and has a very good taste to it. I like it. But the idea is, since I retired, I had been regularly purchasing the Baileys, and about a year or two back, the Baileys again peaked at an outrageous price, and so I went back to the Carolyn's after a very long time, and I was struck by a wave of nostalgia because the taste of the Carolyn's kind of brought me back to that 2010 through 2015 when I was really struggling, and I had to drink the Carolyn's for quite some time, and so I just decided let's lay off the Baileys for a while. Let's just go back to the Carolyn's because the nostalgia. Right. Recently, I've been trying this though. Harp and Hare Irish Cream. It's priced somewhere in between the Carolyn's and the Baileys. But the thing I particularly like about this, and it tastes good too. It tastes good. It's got the plug like a cork. It doesn't have the threaded cap. And the thing I don't like about the threaded cap is that all of the liquor builds up on the inside and dries out, and it's messy. I don't like it. The plug, that does not happen. It's very, very, very clean. So I like that. And welcome on in, Lone Star. So you should be able to see the auto shoutouts up there for both Sage and Lone Star, fellow buffoons. Please check them out when you get the chance. You won't be disappointed. I know, Sage, I know several ways in which copper wire came about, but I'm sure you're going to expound upon one in particular. So please, if you would. Yes, I thought so. Nice. All right. Let's log on to the server. Happy Friday, everyone. So happy to see you all here. A classic, indeed. Let's see. Display scene right over here. Display. Okay. Now I took a risk that I usually don't take. There was an update to OBS, and I usually wait till after the stream for the update to apply the update because I never know what it's going to do. But I took a gamble, and about 30 minutes before the stream, I said, what the heck? Well, we'll try it out. So far, so good. So we'll see. All right, let's enough. Let's log on. Let's do this. Hey there, buddy. All right, let's get all our chunks to load in here. Oof. Come on, Bobby, do your thing. It's trying. It's trying. I've got some chunks back there that are very beautiful chunks to look at that aren't loading in. All right. And then over by Nova's way, over here, there's some chunks. We should see the mob farm render in. There it is. Oh, come on, Bobby, you can do it. There it goes. And we should be able to see OPG's base. Yeah, okay, it's in there. Okay, I'm a little disappointed because I love this shoreline here. There's usually a gigantic mountain in the background there that comes in. It looks very beautiful. Anyways, let's do this. That was a complete mess. Okay. Yay, my luggage turned up. It just turned up now, but when did you actually make it home? Because Lone, I travel a lot, and thankfully that hasn't happened to me lately, but yeah, it sucks. Come on, pal. I still haven't worked out some sort of way to get these leads without having the leads, without losing them down below. Okay, I got lucky that time. All right, so I've worked out some things here. So I've gotten the claws worked out, and I've gotten the webbing in between the fingers and in the thumb worked out. And it's not ideal, but it's satisfying. It's okay. I'm good with this. I like it. So what I'm starting now is I'm starting to sketch out the fin on the forearm. And so it'll extend out from the wrist and go down to the elbow, somewhere around there. It'll come off in different splines like that all the way down. And there'll be the translucent webbing in between. So that's what I'm working on today. And work has been going very slow, slower than even normal. They'll be in a partial. Welcome onto the server, by the way. There we go. I was here before you. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, now about maybe a half an hour, maybe even 45 minutes before the stream, I logged onto the server and I didn't see you on there, so you must have been in betwixt that time somewhere. All right, let's Fine. So has Lone Star deputized you as the stream status police? Have you been deputized? I got home around 1 p.m. yesterday. It is now 7 p.m. Yeah, okay. I hear you, Lone. Well, I'm glad you got it back. So I'm not entirely sure how I should go about this. I'm thinking on maybe sketching out the overall shape of the fin and then filling it in, if that makes any sense. So getting the outer edge arc in place for it, just to get kind of a general shape of the overall fin, and then trying to, within that, place the splines and the webbing in between. I've been tracing it, so I knew it was on the way. I bought some smart tags. Oh, yeah, the smart tags are awesome, right? Thankfully. I have to say, I haven't had them lose my luggage in quite some time. But, you know, I haven't flown... I've only been flying from LA to Taiwan, and they're very, very good about that. We usually use EVA Airlines for that. But this last trip, we've used Starlux. And the CEO of Starlux is the former CEO of EVA. And so their airline is just outstanding. So they have not misplaced our luggage in, I would say, in over a decade. So I'm going to build off of Gaston here. Just a little bit. Come here, buddy. Come on. It's usually, yeah, see, I just lost the lead. I need to figure out a way around that. And it hasn't bobbed up out of the water yet. So I can't recover it. And this is always super annoying. Yeah, I can see it. It's almost at the surface. See, once it gets to the surface, you could just skim right over it and it'll pop into your inventory. God, that is annoying. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to need some dirt. It's usually on the domestic flights in the U.S. or you know, my flights to Europe where my luggage gets displaced. I'm trying to think if that has ever happened to any flight I've taken to Asia, and I think not. You know what I'm gonna do? Do I have that? Yeah, I do. Good. I'm good here. The last time I lost my bag was because I grabbed the wrong bag, the wrong backpack on my way out of the airplane. Well, when you see other people's luggage and it has these very gaudy kinds of decorations on them, and you think, oh my God, that's so obnoxious. No, it has a functional purpose. It's to easily identify your luggage from everyone else's, right? Sage, I don't think that's called losing. I think that's called theft. Good point, Parrots. Good point. Okay, that fence post. Huxley, what are you doing there, buddy? Really? Do I not have the extra fence post? All right. Where's me basic kit? I usually keep a stack of fence posts in here. I have this Dak oak one right here. Done. Done and done. Now let's go see where Gaston has flown off to. To where Gaston has flown. Here, buddy, right over here. Come on. That's right. There you go. I thought he said ox there. It sounded like it. Look, it was more like unpermitted borrowing. All right, what I'm thinking on doing is, if only you had an easy source of snowballs to keep the... I do. I do have an easy source of snowballs. So when I set up Baldric in town, you don't say. Yeah, I do say. When I set up Baldric in town, I stocked up the double chest in there full of snowballs. And you can bet your butt that I went and stocked up a full shulker full of snowballs myself in my own inventory. There we go. All right. So let's just sketch this out. I'm thinking, you can see where I've started this with a little bit of the dirt. And what I was thinking on is this would be like the first spine on this. And then, but you know what? I'm thinking I'm going to keep extending this around. And so that would be the first one there. And then let's take a look at the elbow. Let's try to determine like where the elbow is too. I mean, there is that. Because, you know, I don't want the fin so big that it throws off the look of the entire arm and it makes the arm look confusing. I don't want that to happen. Also, we're going to have to get rid of some of this kelp. Kelp! There we go. Just so we can, and you know, later we're going to wind up redecorating this again and putting a lot of this stuff back. But it's not later. Later is later, now is now. Okay, let's do this. And so if you look at the size of that entire arm, that's right about where the wrist is. And then I'm thinking it's going to come down to, I don't know, I want some of it to extend into the water, but not a whole lot. So we need to pick a spot, right? And so I'm thinking somewhere around here. So we have Sun, like this. Oh, that's good. Maybe like right there. So I'm thinking something like that. Now this is going to have 3 curves to it. So it's a pretty weird compound curve. It's going to curve outward like this. It's going to curve inward like that in that axis. And then it's also going to curve this way in this axis. So and you know what? Maybe I should move the bed down onto the hand just to make it just that much quicker. Oh, thank you, Sage. Boa cars. Hey, welcome on in. It's sorry it took me for a moment to notice, but welcome on in. You all could see the auto shout out for Minecrafter extraordinaire. Boa cars. Oh wow, I think I do have the bed in my inventory. Let's go stick it on the hand there so we don't have to keep going to and fro, shall we? I finally moved. Past month has been nuts. Oh, please do tell. I mean, without doxing yourself. So let us put the bed up here on top, just for now, just for the nonce. Ooh, I can hear the mobos inside. I suppose at some point I ought to break into here and light up the interior here, right? Because it's just full of mobs in there. And in some kinds of ways that would be cool, as a kind of effect, but I just keep the bed in the hot for ease of use. Yeah, I normally do that. I don't keep it in the hotbar, but I keep it right in the inventory. But, you know, we're going back and forth here and everything, you know, it's just frees up inventory space. Besides, you know, with the kind of absent-mindedness to which I'm prone, I make certain I certainly don't keep it in the hotbar in the nether. I moved to South Carolina, out in the boonies. Directions: turn of the paved road and keep going. So, to South Carolina from where, if you don't mind me asking? Because now that you mention that in the chat, I do remember you saying that during one of your streams a month or two back. Georgia. Oh, okay. Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy down here. Look at him. Okay. The cool thing about the rain right now is, yeah, the trident becomes that much more useful. Okay, so yeah, we have a compound curve that we have to do in 3 axes here. So I'm thinking if I look at it from this axis, and this isn't quite a curve, it'll curve outward this way and then back in, right? So we do have that. So I'm thinking where this will attach, it's going to have to go forward and out and a curve that way and then come in like this. And you know what? This is not, one of the other reasons why this is taking me so long is this is not my building style at all. So this is really hard for me to do. So I'm thinking maybe 3 of these. 1, 2, and then maybe the 3, and this would represent the trailing edge of the webbing. So maybe this curve needs to be a little bit more graceful. Maybe. But we'll work on that in a minute. Let's just sketch out the basic shape. I can't wait to stream again. Actually got better internet here. Oh, that's always a nice thing, right? I could give reasons why, but that may dox. Yeah, understood. It seems like it's a move for the better, though. So that's always a good thing. Best news, though, they can actually still have a sit-down Pizza Hut. Or they actually still have a sit-down. And one of the cop cars has the bubble light on the roof. Nice, nice. Youngsters may not understand what that means, but... Right, so that would come out like that. You know what? This may actually wind up doing something like that and coming back on the curve a little bit. There's genuinely gorgeous Pizza Hut spot here in Porto. Oh, hut in Porto, Portugal. That's right. Really? All right, so now I want to come back with the curve at this point. So the curve should extend out past the webbing a little bit. Thinking maybe by that much. And by curve, I mean by the spine. Right, so thinking something like this. And this is going to be kind of funky to make, but I'm just going to sketch it in really quick like this. And now it's got a curve out from the arm like that. So I'm thinking maybe and you know what? Maybe this is way too big. Maybe it's too big. Nope. Hands, please. Nope. All right, let's just do it the way we should be doing this. All right, I'm trying to get that edge there. I need more dirt. Oh yeah. We could take big leaps. One of these should have dirt in it. Black stone, smooth with salt, tough. Black stone, dirt. Here we go. Yeah, I need not that. Wow, that's not a lot of dirt. The whole thing is in glass with a terrace right on the beach. Oh, beautiful. Then again, there is a McDonald's in the same city that has a whole stained glass thing over the counters, multiple chandeliers through the restaurant, and a huge brass eagle out on the side. So the idea is with this fin is to do it wrong first, and then do it right. And I'm thinking this is a little too high up. I'm thinking it should come up like that a little bit. This should curve upward in a gentle curve like this. This should curve downward in a little more of a gentle curve. Or, yeah, we got to tweak it a little bit. Oh, what am I doing? I should just do that. Oh, nice. So my older son, Biggie, sent me a video today from his first class for his engineering degree for year 3. And he sent me a picture of a breadboard array setup with his very first NOR circuit on there. So cool. Now, for any of those, any of you with circuit experience, you'll understand why they teach him the NOR circuit first. But when you're learning circuits, they teach you the NOR circuit first, which is a contraction of not or, and they're also called logic gates, and it's because of the NOR circuit, the NOR logic gate, you can get all of the other gates, the OR gate, the AND gate, the NAND gate, all of those other gates you can get from the NOR gate. So they teach you the NOR gate first. So they show him how to physically make the NOR gate circuit in the class, and then his homework is to do the math and work out the truth table for it. And of course, the coolest thing about that is we use the NOR gate in Minecraft Redstone all the time. Yeah, this needs to slope down into the water a little bit more. So I'm thinking something like we should probably head down right about there. And you know what we should do? We should have this in the offhand to make things a little bit easier when we're building. And then maybe it's like how much concavity do we want this curve to have here? I'm thinking, is that a little too extreme there? Yeah, this stuff, I'm terrible at this kind of building. This is not my thing at all. And it's not like there's just a tutorial that I can follow, you know? Uh-oh, somebody just turned into a drown. This game. He's in there somewhere. So I'm looking for the curve for this spine, at least in this axis down here. This isn't so bad. At least in that axis, it's not so bad. What I am avoiding is using stairs and slabs. I think if I start like you'll see that I didn't use any stairs and slabs to smooth out the curves and the claws. Only because I feel when I start using stairs and slabs for something like that, I wind up just wasting hours and hours of time just niggling those in there to try to get those to look right. And so if I limit myself to just blocks, I get it done, right? I posted some images from Google of the Pizza Hut and the McDonald's in your Discord. Oh, cool. Yeah, I do want to check those out. This is okay, but where this comes up and attaches onto the arm looks kind of wonky. And it might be because of that. But this isn't so bad. This is okay. It's not great, but so that kind of goes down to there. This one I will put right about here. Should I make this more gradual or not? Okay, I guess that kind of smooths that out a little bit. Oh, I can't. Okay, yeah, I guess I can do that as long as I don't hit the tops of them. Okay, you know, that's not too bad of a curve. And that being the longest one, all right. Okay, that's all right. Now let's look at it from above and let's try to get the kind of curve we want in this axis like this. So the curve will extend out like that and out into there. It's okay. Let's temporarily remove that. This is like the webbing, right? So the spine will come out like that. I guess that's not too bad. That's pretty good. So I like this axis, and I like this axis. What about that? Okay, that's okay. Now there's this axis too. There's a curve in this axis, and this just naturally came about from the other two, so I think it's good. Yeah, that's gonna have to do. All right, and now off of this, we'll have to come this edge of the webbing. And then the webbing's going to have to make some sort of curve up through here. Kelp, please. can't help but feel there should be something there to make that a little stronger where it comes off of the forearm. But see, here's where you get into like a runaway train situation, right? That's not bad. That'll do. Now this curve has to generate down off of that. But it has to be in front of this. It's too far forward, I think. So I'm thinking, thank you, Sage, for doing that sleeping thing. So I'm thinking something from about here to there. That's not bad. We could... All right, so that would... That's not bad. So if we go through like this, that's not bad. All right, so goes that way. Okay. And then I see it from that way, and then we need one more axis. We have this axis from up here, and we're tracing out that. That actually looks good. Okay. Okay. All right, I think we could start placing some blocks. Now, I would like to use the same palette that I used for the claws. I would like to use that palette for these spines. So that's black concrete and black stone. All right. Let's do that. Let's put the spine in first, and then we'll put the webbing in after. That'll help us differentiate those two. Oh, that's weird. See how it raises up? That's weird. Okay, we have a dolphin nearby. I get it. Okay, calm down, please. Calm down. This has to go back into there. That can go there. And let's keep some dirt in the inventory. Let's do that. And let me see, black concrete. There's the black stone, so we can line these two up in our hot bar. Like that. Black stone, black stone. Black concrete, something like that. That should do it. I've never used the Riptide with something in my offhand before. It is supremely annoying looking. Okay, so the way I do this is the black stone is like the lighter edge on top, and then the concrete is the black concrete is the shadow part at the bottom. And so we could start by just doing this kind of a thing. No hands. No, I didn't say put it there. I said put it here. A little bit on that leading edge. That. There. Right there. I'm working. Leave me alone, please, Mr. Drown. Wrinkly prune dude. See, I could pull out me sword, but the idea is to leave hotbar space. So just use the one weapon, right? Okay, so that's that. This should be black concrete underneath this. Just cleaning up, recovering this dirt that I need. The dirt. Okay, that's good. You know, I'm thinking here. That should be more that kind of a thing. Okay, good. All right, now we've got some glass that we need to put into place here. Let's do this. There's basically 3 tones that we're using for glass. This is the light. Here's the mid-ground tone. That's the cyan, and then the dark tones like this. I tend to use the dark tones for where things attach. Like here and here. And certainly most of this business in around here. Here, sun, like that. And you know what? Let's merge these in. So that's going to be right about there, I'm thinking. And maybe even up to about here before it moves into the cyan stuff. Like this. All right, so this might be cyan right there. And cyan right there. And then I use the white for like the glistening highlights. But I have to be super judicious in the way that I use those because, wow, they really stick out. Like I might use a piece of white glass there, but that's about it. There we go. Now I just have to work out some sort of way that it attaches over to here. So I guess the next thing to do would be follow the arm up around to here, which shouldn't be that bad of a thing to do. Maybe I want the curve to be a little more gradual there. Yeah, I'm thinking something like that. A little thicker around there. At least where it attaches to the body, right? Yeah, I'm thinking that's good. And this is pretty much of a no-brainer right here. This can do this kind of a thing. Like that. Put in a little something right there. Okay, that's good. Thinking of making this a little bit heavier, like right in and around there. That's good. All right, now the other thing is to attach it to the top of the spine here. And again, I'm going to attach that with using darker blocks. Maybe something like that. And maybe come off of that with this. And then I think I'll just attach that like that. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's remove that dirt. And how am I doing for time here? I gotta watch the time. Okay, I gotta do ad break in about 2 minutes. All right, so I'm thinking this now here fills in with the cyan, right? And so now I can do this, and I can swap that out with that. Sounds like it's raining up above on the surface. Looks like we have this kind of a thing. Maybe. I'm a hop off. Okay, thank you, Sage. See ya. Yeah, and this can slope out a little bit more, right? So but I think we should bring this over a little bit more gradually. Like that. And now we've got to merge this gap somehow. So I'm thinking maybe like that. Yeah, this isn't so bad. I'm thinking something, maybe something like that. I'll just remove the dirt, and then we'll do an ad break. We'll queue up an ad break. I'm thinking, let me see. Maybe something like that. Then we'll fly about on Gaston. We'll have ourselves a butcher. After the break, of course. All right, let's queue up that break. We're going to run about 3 minutes of ads, and we shall be right back. Hey there, and we're back. All right. We need to switch to standing mode. There's a little camera adjustment right in there. Tis. All right, let's log back onto server and let's see what's going on. Scene, display scene, there we go. And it's still raining. It wouldn't be Buffooncraft if it wasn't raining. Okay, buddy. All right, let's do this in some sort of reverse order. Where, that was useless. Again with the leads. Now, where did that lead fall? They're way down here. See? Come here, buddy. Come on. There you go. All right, let's check out how our fin is coming along here. Now remember, we're going to have about maybe 3 of these things. I'm thinking 1 here. And sure, this is mostly under the water, but you know, that's not bad. So it kind of extends out there and then it goes into there. I think the webbing might be a little too, this curve might extend out a little too much. It's probably going to be better off with a gentler curve there. So let's do that. We'll also do the sleeping thing while we're at it. Yeah, so the edge of this, or the tip of this, extends to here. That is a pretty gentle curve, though, from here to here. So that tells me that I think the spine comes out a little too much. Thinking maybe it should end right about here. And then we should trim away some of this. That one ends there. Yeah. Maybe it's too wide. So I'm thinking maybe it should extend out to about there. Now comes the horrific part. Breaking all this glass, and especially breaking it underwater, Auk. Let's just, well, I don't know. I should remove all the rest of this glass first, because then it's going to get confusing. This will come here. It'll come around here. I think it'll come out to here. So let's remove the glass from here on out, like that. We'll try to stand on the other glass while we do it, just to speed things along here. Let's take out all of this. Yeah, because I think it's a little too big. a bit too big, a wee bit too big. Okay, so this should come into here like this. I think these two should be removed. Like that. I like that gradation. Yeah, I like that coming along there like that. I like that. That's not bad. We do need to fill in this gap right here. That's not a big deal. And then I'm thinking for the white blocks, maybe one here and one right there, maybe. Just to have some like glistening in there. Maybe a little bit like that. Or maybe just one on the very edge, like that. I think that's going to look better. Come on, please. Let me stand. There. Yeah, I think that works out a little bit better. And you know what? Maybe we can just do that right there. Just to kind of hook it around. Or maybe not. Yeah, that's too aggressive a curve right there. I think that'll do. Now we need to place one in between these two somewhere. I also need to reset the playlist. Okay, so height-wise, that extends from there, that extends from there. I think I should be aghast back when I do this. This thing with a lead is so uncool. It's the uncoolness factor is off the charts. Come on, pal. Come on down. Come on. Here you go. Now, we'll have the claws with the webbing in between the claws. We'll have the fins on the forearms. And we'll have some fins on the head, too. I'm going to have like one dorsal fin on the head going down the back. And then like two on the sides where the ears would normally kind of be. Right, let me see if this is... It's about 11, so maybe about 5. So maybe right about here is where the next one should extend out. Maybe a little in front of that. This curve is super aggressive here, so I'm going to pull that off right now. But I'm going to leave this here. And then now that I pull back and I look at this, this is a little bit too far back. It's got to come forward some. And I may move this one up a couple of blocks, but we'll see. Now remember, the webbing for the trailing edge of this will connect down to that. So we do have to keep that in mind. But it won't connect all the way down to the tip of this one. That's what I need to do. Still learning how to pilot this thing. All right, so the webbing for this will probably come off of there like that. And then the webbing of this will probably come off of that like that. Okay, all right. That's doable. So what I was thinking of is just to... Yeah, I can't get in there at that angle. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go do the sleeping thing once more. Let's go latch up the gas. Just so we can wind up losing the lead again. Look at that awesome mob farm out there. Nova and I knocked that thing out of the park, man. That's so cool. It's too bad it's just kind of obsolete now. And so, let me see. I think leading edge will go something like that. Goes from here. Okay, maybe And we'll sketch in this curve. We'll see what it looks like from the top. That looks awful, but we'll trim it away. Yeah, that might look better as far as a shape is concerned. Now let's hop onto Gaston. Let's have a look. It's like, you know, can you just... Okay, we got the lead that time. That was good. Thank you. And there's our buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on, there you go. Let's hop on. I tell you, if I could just master this ghast, the building would be so much better. All right, so I'm just looking down at it from this axis now. And I don't like what I'm seeing. So, you know, I'm not really sure how to sketch this in. Like, should I... like just spam down a whole bunch of blocks and then trim away, sort of like sculpting. Like get the curve in this axis first, right? And get the curve in the other, and then join them together and like average them out. You know, like this would be the curve in the y-axis, right? That would be the curve in the y-axis. Then the curve in, and that would be the curve in, or I should say this would be the curve in the xz plane, right? This would be the curve in the XY plane. There's Jeppo. How you doing today, Jeppo? Welcome to the second part of the stream. I'm not certain if you were there in the first part of the stream, but let me see. That would extend out to there. Yeah, so you know what? I'm thinking the best way to do this is to do like lay them out in the XZ plane and then just level stagger them up. I think that would be the best thing to do. Is that a claw? Sort of, yeah. The claw part is, yeah, over here. Yeah, let me fly around to give you a look. And just ignore the fence post. That's for hooking up Gaston here. Nessie, so sort of. So, yeah, you can see here where we have our giant coming up out of the sea. And so I've decorated the hand a bit. I've put the claws on there, and I've put the webbing in between the fingers, the digits. Creature of the Black Lagoon, keep going. Keep going. As far as Creature of the Black Lagoon, I am going for that kind of look, just on a much bigger scale. All right, what I'm going to do is, and let's see, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off a gas back with a, oh yeah, okay, maybe I'll be able to do this. I'm going to remove this temporarily. Because, you know, I have to do things all the wrong ways first before I arrive on the right way to do it, because I lack intelligence. So, but I do get the job done, right? But it's just the most tedious way of doing it possible. And so I'm thinking lay out the fin shape in the XZ first and then extrude it like upward into the XY and the XZ planes like that. I'm thinking that kind of a thing. Yes, I'm adding on the fins to the arms. I've made the fin underwater for that part, so there'll be like 3 fins from the wrist down to the forearm. So there'll be one that extends out this way, one that extends out that way, and that one already extends down there. But like I said, this isn't my building style. You know, just like freestyling this kind of stuff. I'm not good at this. And so this is really hard for me to do. Yeah, like, see, I'm going to have to go pin up Gaston again. Anyone else? A loose sound. I think it was on. I can still hear fine. Refreshed and it works. Okay, that's good. So Jeppo, as always, I have to ask, where in the world is Jeppo-tastic? Jeppo-tastic. When last I heard, you were in the Netherlands, I believe? See, being a gassed back makes some things easier, but it makes other things harder, right? So let's remove this. Let's gather some of the dirt. We're more than just housekeeping with the dirt. It also keeps dirt in the inventory, so we can reuse it and reuse it. Ugh. Listen, pruny boy. Bubba's busy. I'm working now. Let the adults do their work, please. And there we go. All right. So I'm thinking we do something like this. We extend this over this way, and you know what? I'm thinking that's going to be enough. I think it's something like this, and then we just extrude it up and down. And then it's just a matter of determining, you know, in that XZ plane, or I should say in the XY plane, and then in the ZY plane, like how to extrude this in a way to get the kind of curvature we want. Right? And so we have to do the sleeping thing. So let's get up to here. I'm in Amsterdam. Yay! I have a place to live now. Yay! Okay, and I'm getting rid of the spiders and silverfish and dust mites. Okay. Nice, nice. So, will we be seeing, shall we be seeing streams from below sea level? All right, so yeah, I'm thinking of starting the next fin here and bringing that fin shape outward. Right, and so maybe something like this. And again, I'll just put it in this flat plane here, and then we'll work Then we'll think about the other. That one extends like maybe all the way out to there. This one's going to be smaller. Its leading edge goes to there, and so like this. And so this would give us like a better idea. And it needs a little bit of curvature. And, you know, maybe that curvature can be expressed maybe that way. Like this. Then this one is like this. And then this has to be, wow, it's pretty aggressive. Now remember, this would rise up to meet that coming down. So, and then who knows, I might even dismantle all of this and rebuild all of that. We'll see. But I'm thinking this is kind of the way to go. In fact, this might be moved forward a block or two, and I think I did mention that the last time. This is like the hardest, it's not like, it actually is. This is the hardest kind of building for me to have to do here. This is so out of my skill set. How much farther forward do I want to go with this? I'm thinking maybe that much might be enough. Just like maybe 2 blocks forward. So let's just copy this curve over here, like. This is not what I'm trying to do here. Okay, this has to go 1 block back like that. This has to go 1 block back like that. And that terminates right about there. And then this we moved this way. Okay, I think something like that. And again, I'm just spamming down blocks and then removing them, adding them, removing them to try to get a shape, because like I said, this isn't my building style, so I don't really know how to do this. And since I'm building something that hasn't been built before, there's like no tutorial to follow or anything. You just gotta... All right. Let's see. I did a first stream from here, but it was just me. Oh, when was that? How come I missed that notification? Wanted to test levels and make sure the interneto worked well enough. Yes, that it was sufficiently non-potato to trust your instincts. Oh, God. Nice sentiment, thank you. But I think that's my problem with this kind of building is yeah, see, I keep losing the lead all the time on that. I don't have any instincts for this. Let's go call less potato, more. I can't quite make out what that is. My eyes aren't good enough for that. But it went well. Just very quiet, yeah. It was probably in the wee hours, right? And you were probably trying to keep it down. It is a jellyfish. Okay, you know, I was going to say. Yeah, I could keep this like really simple and just stagger these like this. Like the second one, for example. The second one, for example, I could bring it like this. Her sounds like I could extend something out like this now. Oh, it's so hard to build a ghast pack. Like that. That's pretty shallow a curve, though. But it's, you know, it's not bad. And then to separate leading edge from the leading edge of the spline out to the webbing. Come on, let me do the thing. We could put like the webbing on the next level down like this. And just try to simplify the way that it looks just to get some ideas, right? That's being a little too obnoxious, I think. Awk. Maybe something like that. And then you know, and then just maybe staggering them downward like this. Maybe this is the way to go with building of these kinds of things. Like I said, I have to do this the wrong way first, several times, all of the wrong ways first, before I chance upon the correct way, because there is no instruction book for this. In fact, since I have the snowballs, let's just do this. And then we'll just extend them down to as far as we want to go. Where is he? Come here, buddy. Come on. Lai, lai, lai. Ching lai, ching lai. No. Lai, lai. John, quiet. A little bit further down. Come on. I need be able... There. Good Lord! So I'm thinking we just, like, sketch them in like that. So I'm thinking we have, like, one here, and one there. So we may have a bit of removal we have to do. Right there? There. Okay. I streamed on my lunch break, so it was probably not a great timing for you. There is no spoon. It is your mind that bends. My mind isn't as flexible as it used to be. Young lady. All right. So... Yes, I think a non-bendy mind is a major part of the problem here. Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe just something like that. Like how I did this middle one here. Come on, let me get close enough so I can build. Gaston, please. I just want to place a couple of blocks, darn it. Hook. Yeah, I just want to do something like, you know, maybe like that. That's a place, please. Please. Hello? Come on. With the... No, Good Lord. Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe something like that. And then I just stagger these upward. So let's remove all of this. The thing is, you know, once I do get the methodology down, then it's just a matter of blasting it out, right? Once I get it down, but it's just trying to figure out a procedure. Listen to all those mobbos in there. How am I doing for time here? 12:46. I've got 15 more minutes left of the stream. It's artwork, and art takes time. I'll remember that for the next Baby Zombie Rush stream. I'll remember you said that, Jippo. Let's do a bit of that. I'm gonna keep that like that. Look at our mammalian friend down there. The best thing I've heard about art is not to judge it until you're finished. I have to do a thing. Be quick. Be right back. Okay. Right, and so following the technique that we've done, that we've made, let's just continue like so. I think it's something like that. And then, you know, we can just extend. Well, you know, that's a little too much, I'm thinking. We need to bring the next layer down, like about maybe to there. Like or, and then, you know, maybe we go one more layer with it. But again, you know, I don't want this one to be too big. This one is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 blocks wide. And this one should be less than that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this should be fine. It should be, at the very least, it should be the same amount of blocks wide. So I'm thinking maybe something like that. And maybe this leading edge just comes up a little more. And something like, maybe something like that. So we would have that fin coming out. You would then have this fin coming out. And you know what? Maybe it's more like the Batman glove where these aren't connected to each other. Maybe that makes it easier to build, right? Okay. Yeah, maybe that simplifies it. And then I would come down off of here and merge that one down into the water, which means removing all of this. All right, just recovering some of our dirt here, our dirt. Now, all of this that we just built down here, we're going to remove all that. Yes. Can't believe he's going to just now go back and undo all the stuff that he just... Yeah, I am, because you know what? You got to figure out the right way to do it. And that means building it wrong first, often. Yeah, you know, I like this better. And I like the idea of not attaching these. Yeah, I like that. I like the idea of not attaching them. All right, so let's put these in the offhand. And let's do this kind of a thing. But you know... I'm thinking something like that. All right, that's good. That's good. Let's go remove the layer that's under this. What am I doing for time here? 7 more minutes. Even if I only have these sketched out in dirt, you know, that's progress. Welcome to 7 more minutes of just breaking glass, that annoying breaking glass sound in Minecraft. There it is. Just like that. Right, okay, here we go. Really? Is there a zomboid that close to me? Really? That means I must get in there and slay him. Let me think. Let's get the hack and whacker right here. Hopefully there's no... Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want him to do any damage there. Alright, I'm going to plant some torches down here because I'm sick of hearing these guys, and I can tell there's an enclosed compartment next to me down there. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, the creepies can't do any damage to us any longer. There's a feature part of the lore. There we go. Need to clean up here just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, that's enough to secure this stuff here. Okay, so where must he be then? Here? No. He sounds like he's really close. Whatever. If I go back, he'll probably despawn. Let's set the bed over here and let's see if this is far enough away. Yeah, it is. Okay, great. We're at the end of the stream pretty much anyway. But I like this idea for the fins better. They're much simpler. Oh, really? Yeah, I kind of like that idea better. Looking awesome. Thank you, sir. Yeah, so this is the kind of idea for this, right? I mean, I think that's pretty terrifying looking. So we'd have one more out here. And then it's a matter of just, using the black stone and the black concrete for the leading edge, and then just using the glass for the webbing behind it. I think that's good. Maybe at least where they connect to the arm, trail them down so they almost connect to each other. But I don't know. I think this is good. I think this is good. It's simpler. And it looks, and even though it's not like you think you would want these connecting together like that, I think where they're like separate wings, it's just a simpler look and it creates the illusion a little bit better. Looks good. Thank you. Thank you, parrots. All right, let's wrap things up here, shall we? So this build, when I put in the final feature of this build, is going to be hilarious. It's also going to be like one of the deadliest, funniest, and probably the hardest thing I've ever built in Minecraft. I've built some pretty tough things before, but putting in the final feature of this, that's going to be a stream, people. That's going to be a stream. Awesome. Buffoon alumni Shelbs is streaming right now. So cool. We can drop in and say hi. You know, it's hard to have favorite buffoons, and now there are moths too. Oh no. Don't let them eat your clothes, Jeppo. Yeah, I'm not supposed to have favorite buffoons, but I have to say that Shelbs makes that really hard. Even though she's Buffoon alumni now, honorary Buffoon, she makes that difficult. Okay, let's set up the raid. And this month's redeem is always raid appropriate.
I have a radical idea. We'll cross the streams.
Excuse me, Gun. You said crossing the streams was bad. You're going to endanger us.
Not necessarily. There's definitely a very slim chance we'll survive.
Viewers, it costs 1,000 channel points for that, which isn't much. I figure it makes it accessible and rewards the viewers for viewing, but it's also within reach of some of the newer viewers and stuff. And is it the end? Yes, Jeppo. I'm sorry to say the stream on Friday runs from 11 to 1. Let's set up the raid for Shelbs. There is the raid message in the chat. You can copy. Glad I made it back in time. I'm glad you made it back in time too. You can copy and paste that into the chat if you would like to join us on this raid. And I always encourage the viewers to join us on these raids, even if you can't stay for the entire stream. If you could drop in and just say hi, and if you feel so inclined, a follow, some bits, some subs, that would be really cool. Let us set up the raid itself. And there it is. Okay, so the raid currently is counting down for Buffoon alumni Shelves. She's Minecrafting right now. I believe she's in her hardcore world. I think she is. And family-friendly viewers. Sometimes it's rated mature content. Shelms very rarely does that kind of stuff in there, but still, just there might be a little bit of language, a little bit of shenanigans in there. So just a heads up for the family-friendly viewers. Just remember that we stream this Buffooncraft stream every Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our next stream will be Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that will be Kachi time. Stream after that, of course, will be Wednesday from noon to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That will be Generations, and we should be in the survival, Generation 5 survival world, finishing the rooftop of our Chamber of Commerce. So that'll be really cool. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. It was really cool to see you. I always appreciate when the viewers show up. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, your morning, your evening, wherever you have to be. Join us again next time, and bye for now, everyone.